Hey guys, it's Miki ASMR here, and today I'm going to be reading a Bokuto Kōtarō X listener. This one is titled I Think I Found You, and this is a Soulmate AU, where one of the words on your body changes depending on what's going on with your soulmate. And my family is here for Thanksgiving, so I'm sorry for all the background noise. I hope it doesn't bother you guys. So please try your best to ignore it. And without further ado, let's get right on into the video. The first time I paid attention to the words scribbled on my hand was when they changed. They had been a simple word for as long as I could remember. Volleyball. Well, volleyball was the only consistent word. They would change now and again to reveal words kind of like, I'm kind of sad today, but it's okay. And one time, it was literally, my feet can't move because I've been jumping all day. These words would only stay for a couple of hours. I used to be so aggravated that literally the only important thing my soulmate could think about was some stupid sport. But I forgot about the whole idea of a soulmate when I realized I was nothing was going to change for a while. It was a Tuesday during spring when the drastic change happened. Certain letters disappeared, and some stayed to form the words, I failed. I looked at my words for days on end, awakening a worry I didn't even know existed for a person I didn't even know. These words were unlike others. They stayed for a long period of time and were much more grave than they used to be. What was making them feel like this? What kind of thing must have been happening in order to take over all their other feelings and leave them experiencing such extreme emotion? All of a sudden, I wanted to know my soulmate. When all of my days started to revolve around the worry I was feeling, I felt the desire to meet them, knowing just how big the world was, weakened my laid-back behavior, and made me feel like fighting them would be hopeless. I was feeling depressed and worried when I meant to meet Akashi. He was a part of the volleyball team, and someone I suspected to be my soulmate for 5 years, but it turns out he wasn't. He was looking annoyed, as usual, and groaned that he doesn't like being tired. Bokuto, we've been at this since we left. Can we just leave? He asked, dropping the ball that was loosely written on his hands. The guy had heard so much from Akashi on the other side of the net, crouching and swaying to the side, looking determined and sweaty. One more, he said between breaths. Akashi picked up the ball and dragged his feet to Bokuto's side of the net. He reluctantly threw a ball up and set it for his friend. Bokuto jumped into the air, like gravity wasn't an issue, just to spike the ball over the net. It flew to the ground, and I thought it was impressive. That wasn't good enough for the spiker. God damn it, he groaned, gripping his sweaty hair and stomping his foot on the ground. Akashi bit his bottom lip lightly and set his hand to Bokuto's back. Let's go home, he said in a voice barely audible. Before Bokuto could counter, Akashi already started to walk away to the door, slowly walking towards the door I was waiting at. Hey, he mumbled as he took a swig of his water bottle. What is it about? I asked, not breaking my gaze from the double-digit figure over the volleyball net. That's Bokuto, you know, the guy I told you about? The floaty hair spiker? That's the one. Bokuto finally sat up straight and wiped the sweat from his brow. He kept his eyes fixed on the floor before him as he wouldn't lift them up to look around. So what's wrong with him? Well, we lost at the spring tournament and he was pretty bummed out. He's always gets random moods whenever he's not doing well, but this is different. He wasn't talking about things much and he was kind of depressed. He took the blame for our loss on himself and convinced himself that he was no good at volleyball. He's all positive and smiles around the team, but he's really out of it, Akashi explained, keeping his voice slow so Bokuto couldn't hear. I stayed silent as he came closer, glancing up at me, offering a smile that wasn't anything but genuine. I gave him a strange smile. We didn't want to dare to break the silence that was suffocating us as we stood there. Akashi only broke it to announce that he had to go. But I came here because we're going to get dinner. He complained, frowning at him. Bokuto lives near you, so he can walk you home, he suggested as he shrugged. Oh, great, yes, please Do sign me up for an awkward walk with Mr. Depressed. I don't mind, Bokuto reassured, wearing his fake smile. I nodded simply and bid Akashi a passive-aggressive goodbye. Bokuto started many formal conversations. On the walk home, he asked questions like, "What year are you in?" and "How many siblings do you have?" He made punny jokes now and then. If Akashi hadn't told me he was out of it, there was no way I would have noticed. He seemed to be the master at hiding his feelings. "Look, Bokuto, I don't want to be rude, but can we talk about it?" I blurted out, interrupting his speech about how great of a setter Akashi is. Bokuto fell silent and glanced at me all of a sudden. "About what?" he asked slowly. "Akashi told me that you've been feeling bad, not to mention the fact that you're pretty upset about a perfectly fine spike," I said, deciding to risk the option of hurting his feelings. He didn't say anything for a while, and the smile on his face dropped. I started to feel regret at my sudden outburst when I didn't get a single word out of his mouth. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. I feel like I've let everyone down," he said finally, making me breathe a sigh of relief. His hands were shoved into the volleyball jacket, and his hair was starting to dry. Now I understood why Akashi described him as floaty hair. "Why?" I asked, trying to match his tone of voice, hoping it would make him more comfortable. "We lost the tournament and I'm the captain. Everyone is at the top of their game besides me. We lost. I failed the team, and I can't help but think that I failed my soulmate because all of a sudden my hand is saying stuff like depressed and worried. Who wouldn't be depressed or worried if they had my feelings all over their hands?" he said as he grew more open with his thoughts. The silence that followed wasn't because I was overwhelmed. Bokuto must have thought I was simply speechless. The words he had said were on his hands matched my feelings for the past 2 weeks. As I thought about it, his feelings matched up on mine. It's pretty tough, but I think you can handle it," I said hesitantly. I decided to take another risk by assuming Bokuto's identity in my life. He stopped walking, and it seemed like he had also stopped blinking, because his eyes didn't leave mine for a solid 10 seconds. He glanced hastily at his hand, and his eyes widened even more. He didn't even ask me about grabbing mine, and he looked at it, just to make the change in me more obvious. Written on my hand was simply, "I'm pretty sure I found you," and written on Bokuto's face was an unbreakable smile. Aww, that was adorable. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video, and also like the video because it has something for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!